Haunted Pokemon Go. Every summer my college friends and I would go on a trip somewhere to play Pokemon Go. We visited Niagara Falls, Mount Rushmore, and the Grand Canyon. This time Annalie had chosen the site where the body of a boy who was playing Pokemon Go was found. It was near a large park and the body was discovered in the canal running along the park. Taylor, Rob, and Kaylee and I thought Annalie's choice was weird, but it was her turn and everyone else got to go where they wanted the years before. The five of us got into Taylor's van and drove up. We drove around town visiting local gift stores and sightseeing in the daytime. Annalie had requested we visit the site at night to really enhance the experience. She had always been a horror junkie and loved talking to dead spirits and visiting graveyards at night. Rob had found a group on Facebook of Pokemon Go players who often snuck into the park at night. They told him the best way to get into the park without getting caught at night by the patrolling police officers was to climb the fence between the canal and the park. They said the best spot for doing this was by this large tree that grew in the park near the fence, where the officers didn't patrol and it obscured the light from the flashlights. We parked at a nearby gas station and set out towards the canal. I had on my Pokemon Go jacket and backpack. I wanted a Team Mystic hat to go with my collection. I wanted one for my birthday, but unfortunately that was going to be 2 months after this trip. I had to spend money on fixing my car recently as well, so I didn't have the money to go out and buy one. We got to the canal road and used flashlights on our phones to see where we were going. When we found the tree, Kaylee wanted to take a picture. We were still on the canal side of the fence. Apparently this is near where they found the remains, Kaylee told us as she hooked the camera onto the fence. She took a picture of us standing in front of the canal, and another of us leaning on the fence by the tree. She had photos of every trip we had been on. The canal had no Pokemon sightings or Pokestops, but the park was supposed to be full of rare Pokemon and Pokestops. We decided to climb the fence one at a time in order to decrease how much sound we made, as well as to help the trees shield us from the sight of the patrolling officers. While Rob was making his way over to the fence, I asked Kaylee if I could see the photos she had taken. In the picture of us by the fence, I noticed something in the tree. It was hard to tell, but I decided I would try and use her camera when we got over to get a better picture. I knew Rob and Taylor wouldn't like the idea since it would make another flash of light where we could potentially be spotted. When we were all on the other side, I took the picture, and when I checked it out, I realized it was a hat with the Team Mystic symbol. When I showed everyone the picture, Taylor told me to just leave it up there. He thought it was too risky since it was dark, and if I fell I'd ruin the whole trip. I told him how amazing of a tree climber I had been growing up, and this would be easy. Rob told me if I fell he was going to ditch me and go catch Pokemon on his own. I started up the tree using one hand to hold my phone for light and the other for climbing. When I was near the top, I was reaching for the hat when I felt myself slipping. Just as I was about to let go though, it felt like someone had grabbed my arm and kept me from falling, so I could reach out and grab the hat. I looked around but saw nothing there. I made my way back down and used my flashlight to look at the hat. The blue Articuno Team Mystic logo was on the front. Annalie thought it was cool and creepy. Kaylee told me to put it on so she could get a picture with it on. Rob told me I was going to get lice and I should wash it first. It looked clean enough, so I put the cap on and let Kaylee snap a picture. Taylor was getting annoyed since we were using up our time that was supposed to be for catching Pokemon. Annalie, however, said she had one more thing she wanted to do before they went out to catch Pokemon. Rob said she could do whatever she wanted to, but him and Taylor were going to go hang out at a nearby Pokestop. Kaylee went with Rob and Taylor. Annalie pulled out a candle with some matches. She lit the candle by the tree and then laid down a newspaper article of the boy who was found. I decided to stay and watch her since I didn't feel comfortable leaving her all alone. She closed her eyes and called out the boy's name. She told the boy she was here for him and was dedicating this trip to him. It felt like something touched my shoulder, so I jumped and looked around. Nothing was there. Annalie finished her conversation and blew out the candle. We went over to find Rob complaining about how the Dragonairs keep running away. I got out my phone and opened the Pokemon app to start playing. When my character appeared, however, for a brief second, another figure who looked like another player character appeared on my screen walking towards my character. I thought it was just a glitch, so I started catching a Pidgey and didn't think anything of it. We wandered around the park for a while catching random Pokemon when we noticed a police car pull up in the far parking lot from where we were. We decided it was time to go and made our way back to the fence and back to the canal road. As Annalie was climbing the fence, she suddenly was pulled back to the ground. She started crying and complaining about her back. She said she wanted to go and that Matt, which was the name of the boy, wasn't happy they were there. Taylor was kind of annoyed because this was Annalie's idea in the first place, and now she was saying it was a bad idea they came there. We helped Annalie over and she asked if we could go slowly since her back was hurting a lot. She asked if we could go inside the gas station so she could get some medicine for her back. As we were walking, I started noticing something odd. The footsteps seemed too many, like someone else was walking with us. I kept looking back, but no one was there. While I was walking, my phone, which I had out as a flashlight, suddenly started the Pokemon Go app. Then I saw next to my character, the same character from earlier, walking with me. I noticed they didn't have the usual head accessory on. I used my finger to rotate the view so I could see the other character's face. The moment I did, a chill ran through me. The other character had black holes where the eyes and mouth should be. I ran up to Taylor and told him there's another character on my Pokemon Go walking next to mine. He took my phone and said there was only my character. I took it back and looked only to find the figure had gone. Taylor told me Annalie was really hurting and seemed freaked out, so if this was trying to be funny, I needed to stop. I told him I wasn't trying to be funny, it's just what I saw. He told me I was spooked and to put my phone away and just follow him. We made our way to the gas station and went inside where Kaylee, Annalie, and Rob got some things and got in line. Taylor went out to the van to check on things to make sure we were ready for the long trip home. I was looking around the snack aisle when my phone started vibrating. I had actually turned it off earlier after talking to Taylor. I pulled it out to see the figure again, but instead of it going towards me, it was heading towards the line where Annalie was making her purchase. Rob was behind Annalie, and Kaylee was behind him. When I looked up, I suddenly saw the security camera TV behind the cashier, someone standing next to Kaylee. I walked forward a little bit to see on the TV. There were holes where their eyes and mouths should be. Their clothing was muddy and their face gray. The figure was dripping water. In the actual store, though, no one was there. Suddenly, the figure in the TV grabbed Kaylee by the neck from behind and pulled her to the floor. Rob turned around to see Kaylee gasping for breath and grabbing at her throat. I ran to her and pulled her up and away. She stopped struggling and was gasping for air. I looked up at the TV to see the figure was gone. The clerk ran over and asked if she was okay and said he was going to call the police. Kaylee, through heavy breathing, told him she was going to the van and getting the hell out of there anyway. Rob pointed out the red marks on Kaylee's neck and said it's time to go. Annalie was sobbing, and we went out to the van. Taylor was upset when he saw Annalie crying and Kaylee hurt. "What happened?" he yelled. Kaylee fell over and suddenly there are these marks on her neck, Rob explained. "Let's get out of here," Annalie screamed. Taylor tried starting the car, but it wouldn't start. The girls were screaming and crying, and Taylor got out to check under the hood. I went over to Rob and whispered about how there is this figure that keeps appearing in my Pokemon Go, and I saw a figure in the TV attacking Kaylee. Rob called me an idiot and went outside to help Taylor. Taylor came back and said he was going to go ask the gas station attendant if they knew of anywhere locally they could call to get help with their van. While Taylor headed into the store, Rob was looking under the hood. I got a call. When I pulled out my phone, it was on Pokemon Go. The other figure was where Rob was. I quickly jumped out of the van just as the hood of the cart slammed down on Rob hard. Then it slammed on him again and again. I ran over and grabbed Rob, who was now unconscious and bleeding. Annalie got out and screamed. She yelled, "Matt, leave us alone!" out into the empty parking lot. I hadn't told her about what I had seen yet because I didn't want to freak her out more. I then decided I would tell her. I told her I had seen a figure in my Pokemon Go and about the figure on the TV. Taylor ran out yelling, "What happened?" I told him the hood slammed down on Rob. Annalie then grabbed my hat from off my head. "What are you doing?" I shouted. "This hat is the same missing hat from the dead boy," she exclaimed. "What are you talking about?" I shouted. She then pulled out the newspaper article and pointed to a line that said the boy's hat had gone missing. "Why didn't you point this out before?" I asked. "Because I didn't think it was his hat," Annalie said. Right then, Kaylee screamed, and when we opened the door we saw scratch marks over Kaylee's face. She came running out of the van. Annalie went to the back of the van, still holding my hat, and grabbed a can of gas and threw my hat into one of the trash cans. She then started pouring gas into the trash can before I could stop her. "What are you doing?" I screamed. She handed me one of her matches. "You have to do it," she said. Right then a phone alarm went off, and Annalie's head hit the side of the garbage can, and she fell to the ground. I swiped the match against the side of the wall and threw it into the trash can. I watched as a faint scream came from the garbage, and blue smoke came out. I looked at my phone and saw the figure was on fire and disappearing. Slowly the figure vanished from my phone, and the garbage can stopped smoking. Taylor tried the van again, and it started up this time. We took Rob, Kaylee, and Annalie to the hospital. None of them had serious injuries, but some nasty scratches and scars. I graduated and decided Pokemon Go days were over. I got my own apartment and started working. From time to time my phone goes off, and Pokemon Go is playing, and for a brief second, I swear, I can see what looks like a burned figure standing next to me and feel warm air against my neck.